Death in the Art of Linda Mary Montano at the Dorsky Museum, 2019. Let me begin with this. Quote, "Take all I say with a grain of salt," end quote. I'm a beginner at this business called death. Today, I will take us on a tour through my show called The Art Life Hospital and describe how each piece, each project spoke to or about death. And why the Art Life Hospital? After a palm reader told me that I would go to the hospital 2 times before I die, I got negatively triggered and angry, asking myself, how can I make art of this nonsense? I had an embossed sign made for my house that said, "The Art Life Institute and Transfiguration Hospital." That is, making art of it helped, so I thought living in a hospital at home has been wonderful. And I brought the hospital to the Dorsky Museum so I can continue to soothe my own possible hospital future and maybe that of museum goers as well. Station 1, the coffin, skeleton, death mask, doll, baby chicken puppet. Backstory. Growing up Catholic in Saugerties, New York, I was theologically directed toward the crucifix and hell. Nuns and priests were good at that manifesto. It's what they learned. And the crucifixion kept those of us who bought that one-sided bias perpetually scared and penitent and thinking we had to be crucified too if we wanted to be like our God, Jesus. At least I did. I had not learned the theology of the resurrection. I became an early death-aholic. The art and the antidote. By presenting the coffin as art and reminding others about death as art, I am taking my childhood preoccupation and terror, recontextualizing it with humor, chicken puppet, and diffusing fear by letting art be my medicine and life healing. Also, look closely. I wrote on the wall next to the coffin very lightly, like a bad school child, quote, "I'm dying," end quote. Laughing with death is a fine thing to do sometimes, and my deceased relatives and friends are pictured in the photos next to the coffin. Mom, Dad, Mitchell, Carl, Nan, Grandma, Eula, Dr. Mishra, Kalu Rinpoche, Mrs. Mehta, and of course, Jesus and Mary. They are mentoring me how to die. Station 2. 14 drawings, right hand, left hand. Backstory. During 14 years of living art, I promised myself I would only allow 1 drawing a year. A small death because I love to draw. The first 7 years of my performance, I drew the teaching that I received from the chakra that I was practicing. The drawing was done with my right hand. The second 7 years, I copied the exact same drawing with my left hand. The art and the Antidote. Synchronicity? Why are these in the Art Life Hospital show? I ask. About 7 years ago, I broke my right hand in 2 places. You guessed it, I can only draw with my left hand now. A small death, but yes, a death and a loss. But hey, the drawings aren't bad. They look like outsider art. Station number 3, the dolls. Backstory. My grandmother was an outsider artist, and I sat next to her 350-pound self, in silence, as she made lots of outsider things, including dolls. And another backstory fact is that I firmly believe that women who don't choose or can't have biological children need to womb mourn. That's a path to self-forgiveness and to motherhood. The Art and the Antidote. These 7 gland dolls are my substitutes, my fill-in for children I might have had. They are my mourning. What had to die? What needed mourning was the fact that I didn't have children with my husband, and so my art gives me an opportunity to, quote, fix, end quote, my life. For over 50 years, I have made dolls as fixes. And these are double fixes because they all have Mother Mary's face, and so I get to make my own version of the Infant of Prague statue, my own version of the Black Madonna, and my own version of forgiving myself as art. Art is a wonderful therapist. Plus, the audience gets to practice compassion by practicing at each doll bed and then rocking a chakra doll in the rocking chair. Station 4, the blackboards and 7 lights. Backstory. Who doesn't remember, if you are over 70 years old, writing on blackboards, erasing, making your own mark? Who doesn't want to be an artist while standing in beautiful colored light? Who doesn't want to turn their back on the world, dive into their own fantasy dream, and draw a miracle on a blackboard? The Art and the Antidote. The small death here is about my handing over the paintbrush to the museum goer, handing over the title artist, handing over the inner hubris that often accompanies this vocation, that sometimes titles people who paint, draw, sing, sculpt, write as special. Funny how social media has changed that burden of specialness assigned to only artists, and now everyone is equally fabulous. Back to death. How is this station about death? By allowing everyone to be a participant artist, by drawing on the blackboards while standing in their own private spa bath of chakra light. I am dying to my own specialness, my own artistness. But there's also a hidden agenda here. At 77 years old, I must be in preparation for asking for help. I must prepare for a time when I have to hand over the objects I've made, hand over the chalk. I must hand over my once special talent and ask for help as my energy levels change. So this Blackboard station is multi-level. It is about including the other as artist and also a rehearsal for my own personal practice called the art of aging and the art of dying. Station 5, the videos. Backstory. When talking and speaking were not my childhood practices or skills, video later became a perfect language and way to communicate and pray. A 22-year collaboration with Toby Carey and Jim Barbaro allowed me to speak as I wanted, not how I was told by church, school, society, patriarchy. Art is a ticket to freedom. The Art and Antidote. Video 1, Learning to Talk. I was in emotional anxiety in 1975 and dissociated, got out of my skin, left town, so to speak, found a way to not think about my own pain by becoming 7 different personas. For a year, I sat in front of a video camera and interviewed myself. I learned to theologically die to having to be me. Video 2, Mitchell's death. My ex-husband was murdered. Mourning him as art was a therapy, was a path, was a way to grieve. Video number 3. Anorexia nervosa was my not-so-subtle way of performing self-harm and literally becoming an 82-pound skeleton. In this video, I asked 12 other women to talk about their eating disorder so I could understand mine.
When the vote time comes around, will you vote me out? And they said, well, most likely, because if you...
Video number 4, On Death and Dying, by Bart Friedman. Vicky Stern, Elizabeth Cross, and I, dressed as faux nuns, played cards, and distracted the viewer from the possible heavy and scary death talk by Woodstock elder Mescal Hornbeck, nurse and hospice worker.
Gurgling kind of sound, as you would have yourself if you had a little fluid in the back.
Video number 5, Chakraphonics. This video explores the way I got to be not me for 14 years, theologically dying to the encultured self.
The goddess inside is Dakini, the female aspect of energy.
Video 6, Benares. By visiting the burning ghats of Benares, I was able to see how Hindu culture accepted and incorporated death and cremations and dying elders into everyday life. Video number 7.
To the left.
Dystonia. How to know that old age, sickness, and death is a reality? Try a chronic illness that daily invites pain, spasm, and tremors into the picture. Then make art about it.
I am not turning from your warmth or your light. Do you believe me?
Video number 8, Living Art, Dying Art. A ride through death rituals from as many cultures as we could find via images, YouTubes, and my own personal experience of taking care of my father for 7 years and being with my mother as she died.
All of us have watched TV shows like Hard Copy 2020 and have our own stories of
I'm dying. A reminder to get my life together. Each year I will tell the camera I'm dying so I won't forget. Station number 6, the performance. Backstory. Because my mother could not breastfeed, I was not given mother's milk and became ill on cow's milk. Also, I was sick with other things as an infant, so I would suppose my parents' fear of my dying got imprinted. Death became an early thought. The art and antidote. Performance. I lay in the coffin for 2 hours at the opening and at the closing. As I lay there, fixing my past, a gland doctor and surrogate mother, Amanda Heidel, feeds me from 2 baby bottles, one mother's milk and the other goat's milk, a drink that I was fed at infancy. The negative mind game can be keep thinking of the backstory, stay miserable, or fix it with art. That is, I get to feel what it was like to really drink mother's milk in this performance, albeit a bit late by 77 years. Fix it. I always choose the art fix, and I must admit, therapy is helping a lot as well. While I'm getting fixed, the 3 gland doctors, Lynn Herring, Megumi Naganoma, and Ariel Ponder, circulate throughout the hospital, taking synchronized pulses, fixing others, service to all, being missionaries. And the video at the foot of the coffin, One Love, a breastfeeding performance by Christina Varga, edited by Toby Carey, is begging that all who see it know that this is the right way. Life wins. Breastfeeding wins. Station number 7, the end game. Death and orgasmic sex have been conceptually allied and seen as close friends via the petite mort reference. At the petite or little mort, time stops, thought stops, worry stops, body stops, and there is only the experienced ecstasy of love and the light of fun. Maybe the grand mort, the end game, death itself, is just a bigger petite mort. Conclusion. I'm dying. We all have to do it. Art and antidote. Let's dance to love and light while we wait. Intention. Dance. 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 Dance.